So let's talk about something important and something something very, very interesting when it comes to the rich and the successful and the wealthy. Now, this is by no means an exhaustive list, nor is it completely applicable for every single one, but it is a general trait, and it is especially a trait that I've seen appear over, or these are actually traits and features and attributes that I've seen surface over and over again when it comes to the various people that I've been around. Both people who have pulled themselves up from the bootstraps on a shoestring budget, and those who have sort of like come from a wealthy or more affluent background. Now, here's an important caveat though. I ain't talking about these rich ass TikTok kids, who all they did was to show off their brash persona and do lots and lots of silly things on social media that people found funny and didn't possess any inherent skills otherwise. Because there's plenty of people who all they manage to do is to get others to smile, like by doing stunts and outrageous stuff and saying a lot of dumb shit and so on. And by so doing, they acquired large audiences. And also, after having gained those audiences, they were approached for promoting a product or service, and in so doing, they also became these influencers and made their money that way. Or that was one of the ways that they made money. I ain't talking about that. No, I'm talking about those who actually had to start from scratch and to build an honest, legitimate business. Now, here's a trait that I've noticed a lot of people who had to build themselves up like that possess. They're very, very generous. Believe it or not, they're very, very generous, especially with their time and money, if they find the time to be worthwhile. Now, I especially remember one guy telling this. This dude is I don't know how many millions he's got, probably a lot. And he used to work as a salesman. I actually think he worked as a salesman in various enterprises and doing various stuff. But he taught me something, or he said something that was very, very important, and that really stuck with me. He said that when he was working as some sort of a senior executive or whatever, or some sort of a manager, and people would enter his office to pitch him some idea or whatever, he said, "You got 30 seconds, hit me." And that was it. That was his offer to be able to listen to what they had to say. And if they couldn't, make him interested in what they had to say for those 30 seconds, then they weren't worthy of his time, which is fine. But in my presence, he will give a lot of his time and a lot of his energy and listen to me and also interact with me and, talk about just about everything that I wanted. And, I can say the same about other people as well. That when you get to when you get past sort of like the threshold, if you will, they are very, very generous and they're very, very nice. And I'll tell you something else. They're actually very, very well spoken. They don't use so much jargon and slang and abbreviations and these vulgar, coarse, infantile language. No, they're being more conservative. Their focus is on speaking correctly. Their focus is on listening and on sounding good. They have a rhythm, they have a cadence, they have a pattern, a speaking pattern. They're actually a little bit old school in that regard. And so all of these things If you can weave together these things and then also start implementing, of course, the techniques and the actual work that you need to do in order to make money, then you become more persuasive. But my point is, because they possess these inherent techniques, speaking well, they also dress well, they're generous, they're mindful, and they also have empathy. If you can possess all of these techniques and attributes, then you become way more persuasive, and people will look to do more business with you as a result of that. Keep that in mind. And if you want to learn more about if you want to learn more about persuasion, I'm all over the place right now, by the way. If you want to learn more about persuasion, then get subscribed to my email list. The link to do so is in the episode description wherever you're watching and or listening to this, and I'll see you there.